the cable fly I wanted to use, one of the sides is broken down, so improvising with the dumbbell fly, getting a similar effect, still hitting the same rep range, and to keep constant tension on my chest when I'm doing these, I'm not coming all the way together at the top. On a cable I can, because it's pulling out, but with the dumbbells, as soon as I come vertical to here, I'm pretty much losing all the tension in my chest, because then I'm just supporting the dumbbells with my arms. So I want to stop maybe about 10 degrees, 10 degrees shy of vertical with my arms, so that way I'm still able to keep the contraction in my chest. It was like 9. It felt really smooth, all the more controlled. Could tell maybe I had one more in the tank, but I was okay with not going completely to failure, because once I got about halfway through, I was like, all right, I'll use a spot, see if I can get at least 6 reps. So with a couple additional ones possibly being assisted, and you know, that'll put me past failure for those sets. So for those sets, excuse me. So I was feeling it. I like these benches too. If you can't tell, they're like the real, I don't know if powerlifting bench is the right term. I don't really know my powerlifting terms or types of benches or barbells. I never got into all that. But these wider pads are really nice for benching on. If you can't tell, those free benches too, the adjustable ones, those boys are huge too. I was struggling. I was fighting just doing my rotator cuff warm up at the beginning, which I don't think I explained, but those 3 movements I use just to open up my shoulders, warm up my rotator cuff, set my shoulders back, and that really helps me prevent, or has helped me to prevent shoulder pain when I'm doing pressing. So knock on wood with that, but that yeah, I was fighting on those because those things are, I mean, I'm not the tallest guy, I'm 5'9", but like, man, anytime you're up on your toes on a bench, it's never a good feeling. That went well. Yeah, like, I don't know, 6 with a spot. Felt like I was moving it well, squeezing good. I'll probably do one more, 315, and get the same 5 or 6 reps with the spot, and then go back down to 275 and see if I can't rep out 8 to 10 again to finish off the set. And then I don't know if there's a dip machine in here, so I'm gonna try to figure out a way to hit dips, not a machine, but even like the dip bars. You would think they'd have it, but we'll figure that out next, but one thing at a time. Variations where you're kind of off the bench here and dipping with your feet elevated in front. This is similar, but the reason I'm in between 2 benches is so that my arms aren't so far behind me. Because the further my arms get behind me, the more triceps going to take over. Now there's still going to be some tricep involvement, but I want to be able to flex. I want to be able to flex my chest as much as I can on this, and put as much tension in my chest. So the further I can bring my arms up, the better I can do that. So by kind of coming in between two benches that allows me to position my hands a little bit more toward the front of my weight, and then get a little better chest squeeze with it. So. So these are gonna be a challenge to stick to the 8 to 10 rep range, but not rushing it, just controlling it. I'm definitely fatigued, so just giving what I can to focus into these last few sets on the chest, and then get to finish off with some cable lateral raises. So I'm looking forward to these, a little higher rep, just kind of focus on more blood flow, a little more of the burn, but not quite as fatiguing in terms of the weight. So I'll earn those once I finish these final sets of the incline. Ooh, that's good. We try a little closing on the left side. I don't know what it's been, but my left side has always been a little awkward for me. And I think it just comes down to having posed for years just on the right side. It's harder to flex my obliques here. A little harder to lift my chest. Almost have to pose on the right, just like that, in order to just replicate it on the left. It was a dang good workout, and I hope you guys had a good weekend. I apologize for kind of just running into that session without really sitting down and chatting today. So figured take a quick minute, recap the weekend. I did have one cheat meal Friday night, so I could still be holding a little bit of water. It's a little bit heavier than I thought I would be this morning, but it happens. You fluctuate water throughout the week. This is normal, so we'll see kind of what the trend is with my weight as the week goes on, but it should be going down. And man, I'm trying to think. Yeah, today's a little interesting because usually Akron's a little quiet where I live, but it's eclipse going on today, and the lunar eclipse or solar eclipse. I forget which one's which. I should know. I think it's a solar eclipse if the sun is blocked by the moon. I think that's a solar eclipse. And where I live happens to be the path of totality, which sounds pretty cool to say. So it's actually kind of popping. I mean, it's definitely popping, especially for a Monday. Everybody's out. I think it's gonna start here in about an hour or two, so I need to get back, and my girlfriend and I got some of the glasses to wear. I would film it, but the even the filter I use now, I have to use a filter for the lens just so these highlights aren't too overblown, when I'm filming out here in the daylight. But if I were to point my camera at the sun at any point, I think even if there's a little bit of light coming around the moon when it's not a total eclipse, I think that would pretty quickly fry the sensor in this camera, which I do not want to do. So I'm gonna see if I can record a little something on my phone. I've got like honestly a better filter for my GoPro for when I ride. So I think I can just hold that over the lens of my phone. I'll see if I can capture a little something. So if I can, maybe I'll put a little clip in at the end here. And if it's not there, well, I didn't get the shot, so I apologize. But yeah, that's today. And the message for today, I'm at the point in the book where Goggins is on this 240-mile run, so he's kind of just detailing more of the run and hasn't really wrapped up yet. I think the next section he'll have a little something to say about it. Really, the mindset is about taking the hard way intentionally, making things hard on purpose. And to be specific with that, it's, when it comes to training, like I did today with the bench press, I could have went in fresh, went light on my warm up and then really focused on just getting up as much weight as I could. But my intention is to grow my chest, so I want to make exercises as challenging as they can be just on my chest. So that's why I start with the fly, pre-exhaust. I'm activating my chest, getting some work in, and then when it comes to the bench press, I'm gonna be a little fatigued. My chest is gonna be a little fatigued. I'm not gonna put up the same numbers as I would if I was fresh, but I'm able to use a little less weight than I would have otherwise, and ideally get just as great of a workout, if not better, because I'm not putting as much pressure on my joints, and I'm able to control the movement a little bit more. So that's the mentality for today. Is not always look for the most efficient way to do something. I guess it's not really efficiency, but it's just embracing what's hard, because it makes it a lot harder. It makes the bench press more humbling and everything else to follow. But that's what I want. I need to get to the point where I'm not running away from the parts of the set that are the most painful when it comes to the muscular pain, because there's definitely bad pain when you're training. You gotta watch out for different types of joint pain especially. But when it comes to tension on a muscle and really feeling the burn and really connecting with it and making whatever movement you do put pressure on your muscle, that part sucks, but that's where the growth is. So you gotta embrace it. You gotta look for it, because you won't just stumble into it. You gotta look for it. And I think that applies to maybe a lot of things, but maybe that's another deeper conversation for another time when I've got some more battery life, because it's blinking red on me. But thank you guys for watching today. That was a chest and shoulder session. But what do I know? I'm just Mert.